Taking a live look outside right now from the Mission Ridge camera, let's check in with meteorologist Cedric Haynes here in the studio for a check of our forecast, what we can expect this week, our chances of rain, and just how hot it's going to get. Hey, Cedric.
Hey there, Latrice. It is definitely going to be a typical summertime pattern moving our way as we go throughout this afternoon. We've got a mix of sun and clouds showing up across the area, but as we go throughout the afternoon, expect more cloud cover to begin to billow up out there as we get more of that humidity mixing with the daytime heating. 87 degrees currently in Chattanooga, but with that dew point of 71, the heat index already in the low to mid 90s, and that will continue to increase as our temperatures slowly creep up as well. 88 degrees currently for our friends in Dayton. Good afternoon in Athens. You're sitting at 84 degrees, 83 in Dalton and Fort Payne, 82 in Altamont, 82 in Murphy, and 79 degrees currently in Blue Ridge. Now, so look at the radar, you can see it's been fairly quiet throughout most of the morning, but in the past, let's say 10-15 minutes or so, things have started to get a little more active. We've got a couple of downpours moving through. First over the Blue Ridge around Cherokee County in western North Carolina, also Clay County, seeing a couple of spotty downpours. Nothing that's going to cause you any major problems. That'll last about 10 minutes and move away. Same thing here over northwest Georgia as well around Whitfield County. We're seeing some spotty downpours making their way on the north side of Dalton there as you get up towards Tunnel Hill and making your way off towards the north towards Cahutta as well and over towards the Red Clay area. Maybe seeing a brief downpour, but nothing that's going to cause too many issues for now. But we're going to be watching to the north. We've got this stalled out frontal boundary, and you can see a lot of active weather been going on over the past 24 hours just to our north near the Ohio River. And some of this activity kind of makes its way down to the south. You see the overall flow. The activity develops along the front. It kind of rides from west to east along these train tracks, and then it slowly starts to dip and drop down into the Tennessee Valley. So that could help spark off a couple of heavier downpours across the area later this afternoon. That's what we're going to be watching for. But again, most of the activity will stay primarily to our north. Speaking of areas to our north, I want to show you here this because I've got to show you this impressive rainfall. So we've had a smattering of downpours across the area over the past 24 hours. But the big action, as I mentioned, has been just to our north along that stalled out front. And just look at this swath of extremely heavy rainfall. But I really have to point your attention to the St. Louis metro area. In this area over the past, since basically midnight or so, there was a swath of heavy rainfall that made its way right through the city of St. Louis, dropping anywhere from 7 to 12 inches of rainfall in a very short period of time. That's a lot of rain, and you get that amount of rain in a short period of time, it has nowhere to go, so it just builds up and floods, and they're dealing with some major flooding, over a 100-year type flooding situation right now in St. Louis. Big story there. But here's the reason why. We talk about the precipitable water map. This is something I don't show often. It's basically telling us how much moisture is in the column of air. And basically think of it as if you get a wet sponge out of the bucket and you squeeze that wet sponge, you get a lot of water that comes out. If you get a dry sponge and you squeeze it, not a lot of water that's going to come out of that, right? Well, that's what's in our atmosphere. So when you see these yellows and oranges and reds, that tells us we have a lot of deeper moisture able to be tapped into. But just to our north, they have a front to help squeeze that moisture out. And so that's why they're seeing that flooding there. For us, as we go throughout the next couple of days, we're going to have off and on chances of these afternoon pop-ups. There's really no steady rain or major rain heading our way in the short term. But as we get towards Friday and the weekend, this front will finally push south and settle over the Tennessee Valley. So I do think our rain chances go up starting on your Friday into Saturday into a more likely category. But between now and then, we'll watch this slowly drifting down to the south, and you'll see that overall wetter pattern finally make its way into the Tennessee Valley, especially by the time we get towards this weekend. The other good thing about this pattern, it keeps all the major heat off to our south and west. We keep that northwesterly flow with that slightly cooler air that will continue to filter on into the region. But of course, with the humidity, even though it's cooler on the thermometer, it's still very hot and humid out there. Here's your Storm Alert 7-day forecast. Pop-up showers and storms the next few days, but maybe a little better chance of widespread showers and storms as we head into the weekend, Latrice.
Thank you, Cedric.